Everybody is muted. Unmute करना.
Hi. Gunjan, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
I'm audible?
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Unmute. Mute करना. मुझे mute करना है. और unmute.
Anup sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Hi, a very good evening to all of you. Hi, I'm Gunjan Sethi, a mother of 2 children, an entrepreneur, skill facilitator, and a digital marketer. We are all here to discuss post-lockdown business and lifestyle changes. I welcome aboard all the panelists. Let us take a quick round of introduction. I welcome Anup sir. He's a Senior Vice President, Sales and Marketing, CIET. Second in the panel is Taranjeet Kaur, the Digital Marketing Head for Tata Consumer Products. Then we have Mrs. Anuradha Modak, Dr. Anuradha Modak. I'm right, Mrs. Anuradha. She is the manifestation coach and also takes care of the higher studies. Then we have the famous TV artist, that's Pooja Khare. Let's start with the discussion. Anup sir, the first round of questions goes to you. Sir, how do you think that COVID-19 has impacted the business of tire industry?
So there has obviously been a very large impact on the tire industry. And as far as the tire industry is concerned, we have about 30% of our business which comes from the original equipment manufacturers, which is the vehicle manufacturers. So that, as I'm sure everyone is aware, that business and that production is completely at a standstill. So that segment of the business is completely at a zero level. Whereas in the replacement market, which is the tire market for the vehicles which are running, we have sales which are down to a very large extent. However, in the commercial category, we are seeing some bit of sales because, as we are all aware, there are essential services which are operating. But in the passenger segment, again, we have a very large hit and most of the retail shops are closed. So in terms of overall turnover, there is a very significant hit which the industry has had to suffer.
So I would just like to, ask your views and put some light on how the tire industry right now is working and has some plans to work forward. And as May, June are the peak period of business. As a lot of questions have come up, May, June is the only period where the businessmen take care of business, and they are the ones who pick up profits for the entire year in these 2 months. We are in the lockdown situation, so all of us are working from home. So what kind of suggestions you would like to tell to the retailers and to the wholesalers that they continue doing the business, at the same time do not hamper their mental and sales target?
So yes, we are in the state of lockdown, but we all know that sooner or later this situation will change and the markets will open up. And as you rightly mentioned, May and June are the large months for the tire industry because traditionally that's the month, these are the months where we have the maximum sales. So in terms of the consumer behavior, we believe that once the market restarts, we will see a significant shift from the consumers towards personal mobility rather than shared transport like trains or buses. And hence we anticipate that once the market opens up, at least in the passenger segment, there will be a improvement in sales almost overnight. And as far as the key elements to be concerned is that first we have to make sure that the people who are working in the outlets, the people who are visiting the outlets, they feel safe, they feel secure. And that's the primary steps that we have taken in terms of developing SOPs so that our people feel safe when they go to the market, and they also convey to their customers that the products that we sell, the services that we sell, we are taking utmost care to make sure that the safety is taken care of. I think that's going to be critical, and business, I'm sure, will follow.
So any mankind steps CEAT will be taking care for the wholesalers and the retailers to make them fear-free factor doing business and handling the retailers and handling the customers and doing business in the normal scale. So any...
Yes, so from our side, what we have been doing is that we have been sharing the processes that we have developed for restarting business at our factory and our offices, and some of them would be relevant for our customers also. The retail space is where a lot of consumers will walk in. So it's important that when the consumers return, they feel safe and secure. So the kind of sanitization to be done, small steps like having everyone wear a mask, hand sanitizers being around and stuff like that is very important as we restart business.
Also, I have another, I'm sorry to interrupt. We have a question on the chat specifically asking, are we having enough backup of production the moment the lockdown opens? And suddenly if we have a huge sale, requirement coming up, is CEAT ready for that? Some people are even asking there could be humongous impact on sales as people are locked down. This is the third phase of lockdown. They would like to move on. And, so is the CEAT ready for that?
Yeah, so as far as production is concerned, yes, it was impacted during the end of March and April. However, most of the manufacturing locations have started, not only for CEAT, for the rest of the industry also. So in terms of production has started, of course, keeping in view the social distancing norms. The level of production would not be at the peak levels. It would be in the range of 60 to 70% capacity. But that's enough to meet the demand right now. Also keeping in mind the level of stocks which already exists in the system. Because you'll remember when we got into a lockdown situation, it was the month of March, which traditionally is the year end for many of the tire companies. So production is usually at a higher level to meet the year-end demand, as well as in anticipation of the market going up in the months of April and May. So there is enough stock in transit in our storage locations, as well as production having started up. We don't anticipate much of a gap as far as production is concerned.
Okay. Thank you. It was really nice speaking to you and having good enlightenment. And please be tuned. And I would appreciate if you listen to the other speakers and the other industry people with their now.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Now the second speaker on board is Mrs. Taranjeet Kaur, the digital head for Tata. The digital head for Tata. As you all are aware, that Tata is a mankind company. So, Mrs. Taranjeet, I would just like to ask you how digital media has been impacted in lockdown.
Yeah, okay. I'll just correct you here. That is Tata Consumer Products.
Okay.
Talking about media, I think I'll talk about overall media industry. How has it impacted? Primarily, if you look at print is the one which has, and TV are the ones which have got impacted the most, because there are no shoots that can happen and hence the production houses get impacted. From the print perspective, there are no advertisers currently on board for any of the publications because of the obvious reasons. The digital space, however, has taken almost 10 times growth, which is great news for the digital media houses and for the OTT platforms. When I say OTT, that will be Netflix, Hotstar, and the likes of those. Apart from that, what is really interesting to know is the kind of data which is getting consumed. So on an average, the data consumption was 2 GB in India per person, which has gone up to 5 GB. And thanks to Mr. Ambani for giving the Jio connections at such cheap prices. With the surge happened in 2013, which was such a peak. And now there's another peak which we're seeing now during the time of COVID. What else has increased is e-com. E-com has really gone up because of the shops locked down and there is delivery which is happening. But of course, it has its own issues right now in terms of delivery time and in terms of supply chain by different companies. So for FMCG category, I can talk about, which I belong to. There is a lot of supply chain issue right now, which as an industry people are facing, because the the factories are shut and there is limited stock. Unlike I think this the tire industry, where the stocks are pretty much in place for us, because everything is going really fast. It's flying off the shelf. You would have read a lot of articles around levers, RB, GSK. Everybody's met their target in almost a year's target in like a month. But that's not some great news for us, because we also are facing an issue on supply chain and future arrangement of stocks because of the factory shutdown. What it also means for the media industry is, because there'll be less stocks, there'll be less advertisers, and hence there'll be less revenue for the media industry overall. Less advertisers would obviously lead to less revenue. But what we've also seen is a lot of new people, specifically women in the age group of 35 to 45, have really gone up on digital media consumption, which is a very interesting piece of data we read from Nielsen recently. In terms of TV, what has really gone up is news and movies, and everything else, which is the GEC channels. When I talk GEC, that is the serials that people watch on a Star Plus, for example. That viewership has really got hit, because there are no fresh episodes being shot for any of the channels, and hence what people are really playing on is the older content that was most popular. So if you see, Ramayana and Mahabharata has come back on Star Plus, and DD and Colors has picked up Mahabharata. So a lot of these channels, what they're trying to do is revive business in terms of what is nostalgic right now for the people. Mythology has really gone up, because the moment right now everybody is in a very low sentiment, frankly. If you see, what is happening is mythology, news and movies are the only ones which has gone up, and that's, I think, where the industry is right now overall.
My second question to you is, Tata is supposed to be a mankind company, and with all due respect, Ratan Tata is famous to do a lot of mankind work. And so any mankind work happening by Tata on digital end?
So, okay, you would have read in the news, I think, and I would just talk about whatever is already published in terms of what is the kind of, I think, help in terms of financial help RBN is giving to the government. Apart from that, we have a campaign, which is the Jagore campaign, which is basically we are telling a lot of these youngsters to go and help the elders, because the most affected by COVID are the elderly. The first point in Modi's speech last that he had was on elder getting affected. And we are working towards that the most. So we want the youth of India to actually go and help them, whether it is a call, whether it's grocery that you get for them, or anything simple that you would think of. So right now, that's the one campaign which is on. Apart from that, there are other little bits which we're doing at our end.
Thank you so much. And it was really nice having that piece of information from you. And please stay in tune. And we will take it forward to Mrs. Anuradha Modar. And she's a lifestyle coach. She's a lifestyle coach and also takes care of higher education. She's a manifestation coach and she's also a doctor. Welcome aboard, Mrs. Anuradha.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. How can I contribute better? What would you like to know?
I would just like to know your views and your reviews, how you feel that this lockdown has, come up with a lot of lifestyle changes and how people are coping up. And post-lockdown, do you think there will be behavioral changes in houses and, also publicly? You feel it will be positive?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity and this gathering for so many wonderful people. I can see there are 34 participants who are listening to us. It really takes time and planning. I really applaud you for all of that. And now to the point, how we are really adapting to this unplanned change. We never thought of something like this, or even if you discuss with your families, your generation, previous generation, this is something which is a completely new experience. Generation 2 before generation, we have never ever experienced such a kind of a thing, because by nature, a human race, we don't like insecurity, we don't like things which we are not familiar with. We like familiarity, we like security by tendency, by nature. So this whole thing has created a complete havoc in system, in processes, which has led to people and families to think on a very basic and fundamental issues, what we are basically looking for, what are our basic needs, how we are actually thinking and growing in all dimensions, how we are consuming, how we are learning, how we are interacting, and so many other ways of growing together as family, as homes, as interacting bodies. Because as we all know, the kind of generation we are coming from, we have always been interacting with people, talking to people. We had a very busy lifestyle, traveling here and there, making meetings, and so many other things. But people were always a very important and integral part of our timetabling or our schedule. Now, all of a sudden, when we are into isolation, whether we are mature adults or we are kids, we really don't know the level of uncertainty which is coming up at emotional and psychological level. So to all of that, in the newspaper, we are constantly reading the negative side as well. Like there are cases of domestic violence, there are complete adversities which are affecting family. But let's also try to talk about the positive side as well. There are lots of men who are continuously working on household things, which they never have done in such a long period of time, for such a continuous period. I mean, that is remarkable. Of course, and how the homemaker, those whose job profile was never considered in a very defined manner, their job is now been shared with the rest of the family members based on the sharing, based on the consent and family responsibilities which the family together have taken. So there are wonderful positive things which we are all experiencing and living. But yes, what I can see, and when I'm interacting with many such people in a cumulative way, I can find people are looking for something to go back to the normal. When we will go back to the normal is a very common tendency in all of us. We are trying to get back to the same stage. But surprisingly, out of this state of havoc or uncertainty or pain, we are going to raise above to a complete different level, which was not previous. So in different zone, like for example, in education, how we are learning, how kids are learning is a very different learning modality compared to the way we have learned, compared to the way might have learned. I mean, I was into a classroom which was into a lecture mode, slowly shift into case study mode and different other things, but not so much into online learning. Even to that an extent.
Just to add on, Dr. Anuradha, I would just like to ask, the homemakers are very happy as people in the house are sharing their responsibilities. Children are also of good help and the husbands are of good help. But I totally understand, the mind game happening inside the woman. They are counting days when the lockdown will open. If we talk of homemakers, they really don't want that the lockdown should open because their responsibility is shared. But vis-a-vis, men want to run out of the house. What you would like to add on to this?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a very different different scenario shift. It's not just about the homemaker, but what about the working mothers? The working mother or the working woman, earlier you will find the main thing with the HR when they are negotiating, it would have been a eureka movement for a woman if she could have got a work from home kind of thing in her job description. But now if she's getting something like work from home continuously, she's into a mess or she's into a fix, because there is a random thing which is simultaneously going on. Something very interesting which I was interacting with the different types of families was that how their spaces, how their individual space got affected. Earlier, we all do work from home to some level or other, but we have our own individual places, like your working table, like your own laptop or something which is your own. You can say this is my own gadget or your own thing. But people coming in the bracket, in the age bracket where they have young teenagers or young members in the family, they right now don't have anything as their own. Nothing like my own working table, nothing like my own laptop. Even this Zoom meeting, I had to really change my son's name. It was having my son's classes are conducted through it. So there is nothing like my space. Everything is so much shared. Everything is so much jangled that I have to really strive for my own thing in between all of this. So it's a very, very scenario shift which has happened. But something which is very positive is how we are learning, how internet has come up as a very, very interesting backbone for everything. As Taranjit was also saying, that e-commerce has been increasing, people are buying, and delivery and supply chain is a very critical thing. So it has also impacted families, how people are only buying necessary items. We are not even thinking of what else we can really plan of. It's not about money. It's about planning very systematically, which is affecting the entire family. So how each and every member of family is contributing is really remarkable. I was reading something about such kind of epidemic and pandemic which has affected at different point of time in different cities, like how London got completely shifted and changed when cholera affected London. They changed their water management system. So with every such drastic situation, when it affects us, we as system completely evolve up to a next level. How when plague got hit into Athens, which is a Greek city, they got complete new rules of law and order. I mean, we have to think on those lines. We can't survive with the same rules, same details like what we used to survive earlier. The law and order have to be reconstructed, rethought once we move out from our
Ma'am, I think we are running out of time. There's another panel head,
so
we would like to take her views as well. So here is the famous TV artist Pooja Khare, and good evening, Pooja. How have you been doing?
This meeting, yeah, tell me.
So it is really nice to have TV stars on board, and really wanted to know, what is your thought on lockdown and entertainment industry? How it has affected the entertainment industry? As as we all say, we have set times to have entertainment, and we schedule our days according to the entertainment. And now, since there are no telecasts happening, no movies coming, and there is a fear of COVID-19, and I'm sure for a couple of months people are not visiting cinema halls. So what you have to say? I'm sure all of you must be getting bored at home, and so what could be the upcoming things we can expect from TV industry? What could be the positive changes?
Yeah, I can say that the corona pandemic has hit the entire nation, and our film and entertainment industry is not left behind. It has put us into a grinding halt, because all the production and the theaters are shut nationwide. See, even if this lockdown is lifted, we have this issue of social distancing. According to WHO guidelines, this virus has an impact for another year or so. So we have to take some precautionary measures. Yes, definitely it has just, just has a major dent on the entertainment industry. Lot of money is involved, construction of the sets for films and serials, for production, for actors' remuneration, etc., which are all under loss right now. So, here comes a sustainability factor. See, the real actors can survive somehow, but the daily wage earners, like the makeup man, the setting man, the technicians, the hairdresser, these are the ones who are facing the brunt, and they need immediate support. So these things we have to just take care of, like what to do next. We all are thinking that what will happen next. Yeah.
My second question to you is, as Mrs. Taranjeet Kaur also mentioned, that the Hotstar and Amazon series and all this is going up. So,
Yeah.
what do you think is more, more popular amongst the players, the short serials or the movies, upcoming movies?
See, now this OTT platform, the digital platform, has really gained force, I must say. So people are coming with, a newer content, fresher content, and people are happy watching Amazon, Netflix, short movies, web series, and all stuff like that. And, we also have a chance. We have that hidden talent which we have. We can come of its own and just make a mark of its own. So, and this lockdown, just we have this ample of time to think and rethink about the new content, the fresher new ideas, what to bring in front of, in the for the
so
digital platform.
You think the short films will work popular? Will be more popular?
Yeah, they will be very popular. The digital platform is going to go way ahead what we are thinking of, the animations and graphics and everything, because people are now mostly going to work online and they are going to be skilled enough to do all this. So when this internet was introduced, things gradually changed, like drastically changed. The same way post-COVID, the things would drastically change.
Thank you so much for your views, and there is a chat coming up.
I just want to add on this. In our industry, we say the show must go on. So this show must go on. It will work very slowly, but it will definitely entertain you all. And there will be you always.
Thank you so much, and have a Mother's Day. Great Mother's Day today.
Yes.
I think in my panel, the most popular is Mr. Anup. I think we have another question for you, and that's for you, Mr. Anup. You seem to be very popular in the industry. My another question to you is CEAT planning cross-functional selling? As right now, as mentioned in media and everywhere, that the essential goods have crossed their annual sales turnover. So is CEAT supposed to tie up with some essential good, or tie up with some safety measures like sanitization or anything, or any companies coming up, so that the sales vis-a-vis sales, we always call CEAT the number one tire company, remains number one in the industry?
Yeah, so we have CEAT Shoppies, which are our exclusive showrooms. We have over 300 of them. And we have identified that one of the main needs of the consumer as the lockdown will lift is sanitization of the vehicles. So we have developed a package which we shall offer through our franchise outlets, so that the consumers have the benefit of getting their vehicles sanitized. So that we see as an opportunity, and that's something we have already worked on. The other area where we feel that there could be opportunities is service at home. This is a model which we are exploring, because again, we feel that consumers would demand this service more and more. As of today, this is not existent to a very large extent in our industry, but this is again a service which we are looking at developing. And in 3 cities, we have already launched a service which will help sanitize vehicles at the doorstep of the customers. So that's how, for this, we have tied up with an online sales and service firm. So these are the opportunities which we see, and we feel that this will help us reach out to the consumer at their doorstep and at the point where they are more comfortable.
So it was really nice having you, all of you, on a Sunday evening. Thank you, all of you, for being with us and spending some time. Thank you from Gunjan Sethi, a skill facilitator, a digital marketer, and a mother of 2 naughty children. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.